Hello everyone, welcome to this video about how to play on a minor 251. This was a question that was asked under one of my videos, and it is a question that I get from time to time in workshops, and it is true. You mostly tend to talk about major 251s, so let's say we're in C, so D minor 7, G7, C, and people talk less about minor 251s, D half diminished, G7C, and that is mostly, of course, because there are just less of those in songs. There are less minor 251s than major 251s because there are more songs in major. So what often happens is when you encounter that chord progression, because you don't play it that often, you tend to kind of choke on the D half diminished in that in your solo, and then you never work on it, so you don't know what to play. But I think it's mostly an issue inside your head more than an actual lack of a certain skill. Because what most people tend to forget or don't think about is that a 251, either major or minor, is just the jazz version of a progression that is often found in classical music or pop music, which is 4-5-1. And 4 and 2 are the same chord. So instead of F, G7, C, which would be 4-5-1, or F, G, C, then we get D minor, G, C. And because D minor and F are basically the same chord, only a different bass note, you can play the same things you would be playing on a F chord on a D minor chord, and vice versa. Now, the same is true for a minor 2-5-1. If you have a minor 2-5-1, so let's say D half diminished, G7, C, then that is the same as F minor, which is 4 in C, F minor, G7, C. And if I would tell you play something on F minor, and if you're a gypsy jazz player, I'm sure you know lots of stuff on F minor. So all that stuff you play on F minor, you can play on D half diminished. And now all of a sudden, probably for you, the neck opens. So the thing you have to practice is connections from F minor to G7. And if you've watched my minor 6 video, I made 2, one where I just go through fingerings of the minor 6 arpeggio, and one where I go through how to use them. At one point I say you can use a F minor 6 arpeggio, this one. You can use that on a G7 chord to create a sus flat 9. So in fact, on a minor 2-5-1, one easy way is to just play, so let's say we're in C minor, D half diminished G7. One easy way would be to just play F minor for the whole progression. Another way is to skip the half diminished altogether and just play G7 flat 9. So then I would be playing B diminished. So I could play this kind of sound, which is just B diminished. And if you play gypsy jazz, you know about fingerings for diminished. And if you don't, I'll link a video under this video where I go through fingerings of diminished. So I have 2 possibilities already. I can play F minor for the whole progression. I can play some kind of G altered or B diminished, or I can combine them. Or I could play any of the other minor 6 arpeggios on G7 that create an altered sound. Like I could play A flat minor 6. That's a nice sound. So if you watch my video about more minor 6 secrets, I go through a couple of arpeggios, and then the second and the third one I talk about. So I talk one starting on the. I talk about playing F minor on G7. I talk about start playing A flat minor. Both are good options to play on a 2-5-1 in minor. So I was playing What Is This Thing Called Love in the beginning, and it starts with a G half diminished to C7 to F minor. So G half diminished, it just doesn't exist for me. It's the same as B flat minor, because B flat minor would be 4 in F minor. So when I see this, when I see a 2-5-1 in minor, immediately I translate it for myself into 4-5-1. So B flat minor, C7, F. And then it's easy. I could play B flat minor arpeggio, B flat minor 6, to, for example, E diminished, and then to F minor. Or I could play, which is D flat major 7 arpeggio. Something I really like to play on B flat minor, so why not play it there? To a C altered sound. So I can give you all those licks, or you can figure them out yourself. But the most important thing is if you can do this with the tools you have already. You can play over a minor 2-5-1, but just playing all your minor licks on the 2 chords. And the easiest way for me to remember it is not to even think about the half diminished chord. I look at the 2-5-1, I see C7 to F, and then I know, okay, 4 of F is B flat minor. So I just play B flat minor. So you can play all your stuff for B flat minor on this G half diminished. So I will play, let's say I will play 2 A's of What Is This Thing Called Love, and on the first A, I'm gonna play B flat minor on the whole progression, on the whole F minor 2-5-1. So I'm playing B flat minor both on the G half diminished and on the C7. And then there's the 2-5-1 to C, which also starts with a half diminished chord, D half diminished. But instead of going to C minor, we're going to C major. That's also a possibility. So it's kind of a minor 2-5-1, but ending in major. But then again, I can treat this minor 2-5-1 as a 4-5-1 in minor. So instead of thinking D half diminished, I'm thinking F minor. So I'm playing F minor, G7, C. So I'm just gonna play B flat minor for 2 bars to F minor. And then instead of playing D half diminished G7, I'm gonna just play F minor. And that sounds great. Just playing minor chords. And now I'm gonna skip the half diminished, and I'm only gonna think C7 altered, or E diminished, which is what you would do in gypsy jazz. And then for the 2-5-1 in C, I'm just gonna think G altered or B diminished. Another possibility would be to play this other minor 6 arpeggio I was talking about in the more minor 6 secret video. And that is playing D flat minor 6 on C7. And playing A flat minor 6 on G7. So I'm skipping the half diminished chord. Now I'm just thinking the dominant chord and playing that kind of modern minor 6. And that works too. Let's try that. Now I was even playing D flat minor 7. I was playing. And that is kind of an outside sound on G half diminished. But, you know, because I was saying you can interchange all minor chords. In another video, say minor 6, minor 7 doesn't matter. So I was thinking D flat minor 6, but then I played D flat minor 7. But it still works, even if it's outside, because everything resolves. And in the end, that's what it's all about. If you can play a clear harmonic sound, which resolves to the next harmonic sound. So if I was playing D flat minor 7, in this case, that I'm playing in an E flat major 7 arpeggio, but that's what I think when I think D flat minor 7. I'm thinking E major 7 also. So that's kind of a weird sound on G half diminished because there is a B in this. This B is really a wrong note on half diminished, but because I resolve it to C7, it works. So in the end, everything works, kind of works. I could even just play treat this G half diminished chord as a G7 altered chord, you know, and play stuff like. It's really not G half diminished, but because I resolve it to C7, and because the line is strong, it works. I will try it. I'm gonna play on F minor, on the F minor 251, and on the C minor 251, I'm gonna play. Yeah, it's the same lick, but only going to major. I bet it works. Also works, you know. In the end, everything works. But if you want the cleanest way to play it, just play 4-5-1 in minor. That was it for this video. I hope you can make use of these tips. And if you have other ideas on how to play a 2-5-1 in minor, let me know. Or if you have tips or an idea, a suggestion for me to make a video, please do, because I've tried to make many videos. So the more subjects, the better. Although I have a whole list already, but you know, I can always add to it. Of course, as always, if you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to do a little more, you can check out my Patreon page. And I have just made a little video also for my Patreon backers with some licks that I'm working on currently. And if you want access to those, you can become one of my patrons. Okay, I see you guys next time. Bye.